Hello my friends, let's start this video from the front lines review. I haven't been updating you about the military map for a very long time, I think couple of the days. Well, we have some of the changes. As you know, Ukraine encircled Russian army in Kucherov Yar. Also, they were trapped here and here, like not physically intercepted, but Ukraine controls those supply lines. So Russians just cannot receive any sort of the goods. The only possible way for them to obtain something like water, food is the drone delivery only. Plus, Ukraine is using the anti-drone warfare, so Russians deliver supplies with the help of the fiber optic drones. Well, according to the latest information, judging on the signals coming from the Ukrainian military command, Ukraine is getting ready to jam Russians completely here, like absolutely demolish. There is the big operation which is now being prepared. I know it because there were the meetings in Pokrovsk-Dobropilya direction, so you see Denis Rydis, commander of Azov Corps, Syrsky, the general commander of Ukrainian army, and here you can see Magyar, who is being deployed already to that particular direction. Well, Magyar is in charge now not over his own unit but of entire drone army of Ukraine, so he's a very important guy and I'm very happy that he was appointed on this position. I think with him, Ukraine becomes more and more competent. And by the way, today Magyar birds hit one of the Russian helicopters. Initially it was the report about Mi-28, but now I have the information that it appears to be Mi-8 transport helicopter with some of the infantry inside. So it was hit by FPV drone, and here you can see how it flies. Sorry guys, I cannot play this video here because even my last one was restricted, but maybe the still images is pretty much okay. Nevertheless, I shared this Magyar video on my Telegram channel, which is available with a link in the video description just below. Follow me on Telegram. Yes, there I post more than on YouTube. We have conversation group there. Well, you see, yeah, helicopter is kind of robust. It was flying for a long time. And yeah, I see here already that it's Mi-8 helicopter. Oh my god, it is on fire. It has kind of the big fuel tanks on each side of the fuselage and it seems like they got fire. But the afterwater and the main one were okay, so because of this helicopter landed. Or crash landed, you may say. Well, because of this thick smoke coming from the fire, I don't really see the state of this machine, but it appears to be it wasn't really a disastrous landing, and Russians already mentioned that the crew was evacuated. And you see here we have one more helicopter flying, it's K-52, attack helicopter. Usually they fly together like the transport helicopter and the backup and cover from the attack one. Well, it's absolutely clear that the helicopter itself is no-go. Again, one more successful case, then FPV drone chases and hits enemy helicopter. Well, if FPV drone hits Shahid drones, I think for helicopter it's more easier target for those drones. So maybe after all Russia will not be able to use their helicopters close to the front lines. Wow, I have just received this image. It's the Russian Mi-8 helicopter that I showed you before. You can see it's the last selfie of it and probably of this guy and also other soldiers who were on board of this helicopter. Russians claim that they evacuated pilots. Well, so far I haven't seen the video with evacuation, so I would put a big question mark for that one. Yeah, here we definitely see some of the face. I asked ChatGPT to improve this image because it's too grainy. Well, that's the result. I don't know who, Lukashenko? Just a little, but ChatGPT sometimes is crazy. And one more image of this helicopter we have. It seems like Ukraine sent more drones. They're chasing the crew, probably. Or finishing off this helicopter. It is absolutely no-go. However, the landing was more or less smooth because the helicopter itself is in one piece. Guys, I am waiting for the full video, which might come at any moment, and immediately I'll share everything of that on my Telegram. Wow, very fast. There is the video already published and I'm gonna share it on my Telegram. Alright guys, now let's continue to the news from the Pokrovsk direction. As you can see here, Russians recently took some of the ground. Plus their sabotage groups are going into the town itself. There were numerous of the clashes report. Ukraine sent some of the vehicle, but it was hit by Russia. So the situation for the Pokrovsk town itself, especially in this flank, southwestern flank, is not really that good. However, still Russians are not able to get into the town with their major infantry forces, just sabotage groups. Situation in Pokrovsk for this hour is still better than in Kupiansk for Ukraine. However, yes, there was the movement of the Russian army. We have this update also from the deep state military map source. Well, I just hope that it's gonna be the same as in Rodinske, for example, where Russia moved initially, but later on Ukraine cut this Russian attack vector, and now Russians are being cut from all of the sides here, so they're not thinking about Rodinske any longer. And I guess this only attack vector is not enough for Russians to occupy Pokrovsk and Mirnograd. Rodinske here is more important because it gives advantage for the Russian army to both Pokrovsk and Mirnograd, so they might jam those settlements into the clouds, their usual tactics, but here it's already been cut, as I say to you, so there is no perspective, close by perspective for Russians to get to Rodinske. Yeah guys, sorry for giving you sometimes bad news, but it's my duty to update you about the current situation on the front lines. There is one more place where Russia moved quite a lot. They even reached Verbovo here. It's Dnipropetrovsk Oblast, again southwestern part of the front lines. Here they propel almost every day, and let's go back 3 days ago. So 1, 2, 3. But you see, they even didn't occupy Kalinovsk fully. They left this village behind and continue the advance. So this is still a gray area. There could be presence of Ukrainian army as well as in Berezove. Why do they do like that? Why do they leave uncontrolled territory behind? Well, it's 100% that they have this order to propel forward in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. Well, I guess their main goal is to reach defense lines of Ukrainian army. The main defense line is going somewhere in Pokrovsk over here, and they want to get to it as fast as possible. And their bigger goal is obviously to reach this road and further continue the movement to Zaporizhia. You see, it's kind of the long way, but it's the only option for Russians. Let me show you defense lines. They're going somewhere like that and partially like that. I don't know if they penetrated the defense line over here. I'm not sure, just draw them randomly, but I know that here they penetrated the defense line in one single place. However, there was no movement any longer from the Russian army in this direction for the last week. So Russians want to go here to bypass this entire defense line, yeah, using this kind of the road to go here and also to advance from this side, from the south. Here they got some of the ground under control, but still unable to get further. Also, Russians are attacking Zaporizhia even with aviation gliding bombs, so for civilians there it's very hard time. And why Zaporizhia is so important for the Russian army? Because they want to create the bridgehead on the other side of the Dnipro River. You see, Dnipro River is very wide, it's the big obstacle for any sort of the ground army. So creating the bridgehead here or maybe in Dnipro city may allow Russian army to move later on faster towards the other parts of Ukraine. Well, they already controlled this part over here, but were forced to retreat from Kherson because it was the trap for the Russian army. They lost initiative. And now with all of their attempts to get to Kherson back, they basically fail. That's why Zaporizhia could be better variant in general for Russians. But still they need to cover lots and lots of the land here, and there are Ukrainian trenches, defense lines, Ukrainian armies placed here, so it's not an easy walk. But at the same time we see that they keep initiative in Velika Novosilka direction, so over here. For now it's the most vulnerable spot for Ukrainian army, because here Russians propels almost every day. You see how they move? Day by day, after all they move. About Kupiansk, the situation there is standstill for already many days. Like 4 days ago, I guess there was the update, then the Russians moved to this part. Well, I would say it's the difficult situation, and Ukraine has just limited resources to act in counterattacks, so I don't think Ukraine is capable for now to repel this Russian attack. Oh, what we have here is the strike of Ukrainian drones on Russian very important facility. It's called Elektrodetal factory in Bryansk Oblast. Elektrodetal means electrical equipment, and it is also producing components for Russian military, or was producing, yeah. High quality combined connections, yeah. I'm not professional in the sphere, so yeah, just important Russian facility connected to not electronics but to electrical systems, yeah, electricity. Kaboom and no electricity. Simple explanation. Well, judging on what Zelensky said yesterday, Ukraine is getting ready to respond on Russian strikes, and yesterday there was the big Russian strike. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting for Russians in the coming days, maybe even today. And the Ukrainian military command confirmed that it was Neptune missile that hit a particular electrical facility. They said it was R-360 missile, so not the particular one you may see on your screens. This is the Bear missile, more developed and able to fly for the longer range, but Ukraine will use those as well. And I hope Tomahawk missiles as well from United States. We'll see if that deal works or no. Trump is a deal maker after all. He likes those kind of the deals. Come on, Donny, come on, you can do it. Give Ukraine weapons. Alright guys, we have some awesome news coming from Moldova. Just yesterday there were parliament elections and Democratic Party and currently ruling party of Moldova won majority. 51 seats in the parliament. It means that they don't need to create coalition. The pro-Russian party comes next. With a huge gap of 20%, they'll stay outcast. And just for you to understand, this is the symbol of this pro-Russian party. It's crazy. I think those should be forbidden, but no, it's democracy. Go and vote for wherever you like to vote. Luckily, majority of people, especially younger generation, they do not support this bullshit. But Russia poured so much money into the campaign to be elected out there in Moldova. No, it doesn't work. Times have changed. People understand what is happening. My friends, if you want to support my channel, please follow me on Patreon. The link for my Patreon page is in the video description right below. You may check it out as well. Or support me on membership of this YouTube channel. I'm gonna upload probably one more video today. Those were the all news which I have for this morning, main news. And I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.